Good afternoon. Hello, my wonderful friends. Welcome to my stream today. So we are going to be working on strengthening and stretching our backs today. One of the most important things about yoga is that it helps to align or realign your spine and strengthen the muscles around it that give your spine support. And if you think about it, it's honestly one of the most important things we can do, because our spine helps support the most important part of our frame, which is our trunk. All of our organs are held in here. All of the things that keep us happy and healthy, all of our major systems are contained within this part of our body. Obviously on this part of our body, and the spine helps support that too. The spine is the only thing really supporting that with the muscles. So we are going to work on strengthening and stretching all of the juicy bits and really important bits of our body today. And we're going to start in Tadasana, so in a mountain pose. If you guys want to grab some water, grab a blanket, go ahead and do so. I think those are the only things that those are the only props that I'm going to use today. Obviously, tailor your practice to yourself. So if you need more support, maybe get some more pillows or a bolster, more blankets. I always recommend using props, especially when we're doing things that would put stress on us otherwise. So, okay, we're going to start in Tadasana, our mountain pose. And I want to start and work on our alignment first and foremost. So if you take a moment to look down at your feet, they're going to be hip width apart. And hip width apart is actually not, it's not where you think it. It's not at the outer edge of our hips, it's actually in the inner edge of our hips. So if you actually lift your leg up and then extend it back, bring it in, and just set it down, leg up, send it back, bring it in, and set it down. It's where these bones under the inner thighs, excuse me, I'm having a brain fart this morning, meet our pelvis. It's right there. It's in that joint. It's in the inner joint. So it's probably a little further in than we think. So we're gonna start hip width apart. All four corners of our feet are going to be on the floor. So take a moment to lift up your toes here and try to gently lower them down one at a time. Just let them rest. And if you ever want to check in, if your feet are placed correctly, lift up your toes and then set them back down gently. And if you lean forward, you'll notice your toes kind of claw into the earth to catch you. If you lean back, you'll notice your toes come up off the earth. So our toes are just gently resting. Our knees have a slight bend, a little micro bend in them. We're tucking our tailbone forward, so we're rolling our pelvis forward. Just imagine like you were going to take bread and knead it. We're kneading it forward, that slight micro bend in our knees still. We are engaging in the abdomen and in the core here. Lifting up through our ribs, through our rib cage, through our chest. We're lifting everything here. We're sending our gaze straight out, and we're finding length in our cervical spine and our neck. Our chin's parallel to the floor. We're going to retract, so draw our shoulder blades together and depress them, draw them down, allowing our hands to come to our side. We're going to take a nice deep breath and smile to ourselves. Our palms are facing inward. Our fingers are slightly spread, still relaxed. And once you have this alignment, once you see what parts are engaged and what parts are resting, try to soften throughout your body. Once you've aligned yourself, try to soften throughout your body. Maybe soften your gaze. Play with your balance a little bit here. It will Definitely soften in the jaw. Trying to find softness and ease in the shoulders, in the arms. Check in with yourself periodically. Tucking in, tightening through the abdomen, tucking the tailbone under. Softening through the legs, through your quadriceps. Softening through your knees. Having that slight little micro bend. And pressing through all four corners of the feet. Excellent. Root to rise here, we're going to bend our knees slightly, bring our hands down, drawing our palms up and overhead, and exhale, hands to heart. And make our way to the tops of our mat, to the top of our mat. Let's do that one more time, root to rise. Slight bend to come up, exhale, hands to heart. We're going to gently follow our hands all the way through, slowly lowering down into our first forward fold. Now you might find some movement here side to side. As you move, feeling your back stretch, feeling a stretch in your side body, you stretch in your hips. Planting our palms, we're going to step or hop back to plank. Exhale, lower and hover, chaturanga, then lower all the way down. Planting your palms on your sides. And since we're just getting started, we're just getting warmed up, we're just going to go into baby cobra, so lifting our chest and our gaze forward. Exhale, release back down. Curling the back toes underneath. Inhale, big breath of energy. We're going to do a push-up into plank. And exhale, sending our hips up and back into downward facing dog. Checking in with the elbows, checking in with the legs, having a slight internal rotation of the thighs. Sending our gaze forward, pressing into all four corners of our hands, just like we do into our feet. Pressing our elbows are slightly, we have a slight internal rotation of the hands. And tucking those elbows in just a little bit. We're not splaying them out, we want to tuck them in just a little bit. Engaging in the core, bringing the belly to the thighs. Pressing those back feet, our heels of our feet towards the back edge of our mat. Inhale, sending our gaze forward. Thinking about coming up and over our hurdle into plank. Exhale, lower and hover. Lower all the way down. Coming onto the tops of our feet. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Curling the back toes underneath. Big breath of energy as we do a push-up. Exhale, sending our hips up and back into downward facing dog. Pedaling out our feet a little bit and drawing our left foot into our toes together. Inhale, we're going to extend the right leg up and back. Exhale, bring our knees to nose. And step all the way through into a lunge. Rotating that back foot so that it's parallel with the back edge of our mat. Making sure that our knee is stacked over our ankle and pointing out over our front two toes. We're not collapsing here in the posture. We want to keep lifted through the chest. Inhale, you can cartwheel all the way up to warrior two. You might feel your leg wanting to collapse internally. Externally rotate it just a little bit. That way you can keep that knee pointing over that front toe. Inhale, we're going to drop the back hand off the left hand and bring the right hand up and over towards the back. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, come all the way through, dropping that forearm onto our front thigh and drawing our left arm up and over. If you want a little bit more here, you can bring your hands down towards the mat. We're not collapsing into our fingertips, we're still keeping lifted through our core. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up to center. Straighten that left leg. Exhale, we're going to come forward again. So keeping a slight micro bend in that knee. And triangle pose here. Sending our gaze up towards our left fingertips. Good. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, we're going to curl the front toes so we're facing the front edge of our mat. Still keeping our arms up and out. On the exhale, go ahead and lower them. Bring your hands to your hips. If you need to heel toe in just a little bit so you can keep that bend, slight bend in your knees, go ahead and do so. We never want to lock in our knees. It's really, really bad for our entire body if we lock our knees. And in fact, if you lock your knees for long enough, which some people do when they're performing on stage, you get nervous and you lock your knees. It'll cut off your blood flow and you'll actually pass out. So it's really, really important that we keep a slight bend in our knees. Bringing our thumbs to our hip points. Inhaling, expanding through the chest. And on an exhale, we're going to send our chest forward. And we're still sending our gaze forward. We're keeping our hips in line with our ankles. If you get to the point where you can touch the floor and you want to drop your hands and do so, go up, feel free. And drop the head. And breathe through this posture. And our wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, go ahead and walk the hands over to the left side. Feeling that nice stretch in the side body on your right side. Feeling that stretch right underneath your armpits, all those muscles right underneath your deltoids. Stretching out our obliques and our spinal erectors. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, walk it over to the right side. So while we are stretching the hamstrings and our calf muscles and everything right now, the real focus here should be on our side body and our spine. So if that means you need to bend your knees just a little bit more, please feel free to do so. Good. Inhale, come up to center. Sending our gaze forward, drawing our hands back up to our hips and engaging in the core to lift back up into standing. Excellent. We are going to rotate our front leg back. So our right toes back towards the front edge of a mat. Bringing a slight bend in the knee. Bringing our hands forward. And exhale, cartwheeling forward. Framing our knee or framing our foot with our hand. Curling the back toes towards the front edge of our mat. Planting our palms. Exhale, step it back to plank. Take a big breath of energy, and on the exhale, you can either run through a vinyasa or sending our hips straight up and back into downward facing dog. And if your back is bothering you, I would recommend refraining from vinyasas until it gets a little bit better. Pedaling out our downward facing dog, walking our feet towards the center. Shifting our weight towards our right foot, and inhale, three-legged dog, drawing the left foot up towards the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, and step it all the way through into a low lunge. Making sure that that knee is stacked over that ankle and pointing towards the front, to the big toe and the second toe, front two toes. Sending our gaze forward, not collapsing down, but opening up through the chest. And inhale, cartwheeling our hands up as we rotate that back foot towards the back, parallel with the back edge of our mat. Just like in Tadasana, all four corners of our feet are connecting with the earth here. And if you need to check that, lift your toes up again to see if all four corners of your feet are connecting with the earth here. Drawing our shoulder blades down and away from our ears. Inhale, sending our left hand down and back as we extend up through the right side. Inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, drawing that left forearm, onto the left thigh, and sending our right hands up and over. If you want to stay here, you can. Otherwise, you can drop. If you want a little more, dropping that left hand down onto the mat. Inhale, coming back up. Lifting up through your core, drawing your shoulder blades back and down, straightening that left leg. And exhale, we're going to send that left hand down towards the earth and send that right hand straight up towards the sky, sending our gaze up towards the sky, out, up and past our right fingertips. Inhale, engaging in our core and coming back up to center. Exhale, turning our toes in towards the opposite side of our mat from last time. So turning our front toes in, so both edges of our feet are parallel with the front and back edge of our mat, and our toes are pointing towards the side of our mat. Nice cleansing breath. Inhale, dropping the shoulders. Exhale, bringing our thumbs to our hip points, wrapping our hands around our hips. I'm going to turn to face you, my wonderful friends. Inhale, lengthening through the spine, lengthening through the neck, opening up through the neck, opening up through the chest, retracting your shoulder blades and depressing them, drawing them down. And on an exhale, we're going to gently send our chest forward, send our heart space forward, over as we keep our hips in line with our ankles, still having a micro bend in the knees. Dropping the hands down towards the earth, letting the head drop down, and wide-legged forward fold. Walk your left palm, or plant your left palm right in the center. On an inhale, we're going to draw the right hand up, opening up through the chest to the side, and open up our palm towards the sky. Good. Exhale, gently lower and switch our hands. Inhale, extending. You should feel this in the hips and the lower lumbar spine. And on every exhale, we're going to switch our hands. Inhaling to extend out. Good. Exhale, come to center. Inhale, sending our gaze forward, drawing our hands back up to our hips, and coming back up. Excellent. Heel toe our hands, or our feet, together. And you can draw them all the way together and zip up through your thighs, and through your legs. Or if you want to just plant your feet hip width apart, you can do that as well. Inhale, root to rise. Sending our hands out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Gently dive on through, forward fold. Bending our knees so our bellies meet our thighs here. It is important that we stretch our hamstrings out, so if you want to lengthen your legs, you can. And that will, once we stretch our hamstrings out, that's good for the lower spine. Or if you want something more in your neck and your thoracic spine, the middle of your back, you can bend your knees. And feel that stretch all the way across your back. Good. Inhale, slowly drawing all the way back up. Stacking each vertebrae over the last, zipping up through the cores. Stacking our head over heart, heart over pelvis, drawing our shoulder blades back and down. Making our way to the front of our mat. Good. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands to heart and swan dive all the way through. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Planting the palms. And step, we're hopping back to plank, and we're immediately going to drop down onto our knees and then slowly work our way to a seated position. As we sit here in lotus pose, Sukhasana. Sukha means ease. Lotus would be drawing our feet over one another. But I have bad knees, so we're going to, we'll do that one at a different time. So for now, Sukhasana, easy pose. Softening your gaze, letting your palms, the weight of your palms rest on your hips. Stacking head over heart, heart over pelvis, imagining leaning back against a wall. Dropping our fingertips gently to our sides. And on an inhale, we're going to draw our right hand up and over and send our left hand out just a little bit. And we should be nice and warm now, so you can come onto that forearm, or if you want to, just press out, up and out through the palm to get a nice side body stretch, gentle side body stretch here. We're not crunching our shoulders up to our ear, but we're still retracting our shoulder blades and drawing them down together. Good. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, sending the left fingertips up and over it. Inhale through center. We're going to just rock side to side very gently and mindfully. Using our breath to guide our movement. So on an inhale, you're coming through center, and exhale, you're coming over to the side. Good. Inhale, come up to center. And we're going to gently make our way over onto our backs. If you want to take your ponytail out, my lovely ladies, feel free to do so. We're going to do everything from our backs from this position, from this point forward. Walking our shoulders underneath our chest. Having a slight bend in the knees, about 90 degrees, and our feet are hip width apart. If you need a block here to help support this, so basically put a block in between your thighs and you can squeeze onto it if that will help keep your hips in alignment. But we're as we go into bridge pose, I really want you to focus on keeping your hips in alignment and your knees in alignment. So we're not splaying our knees out, we're not collapsing our knees in, but we're really keeping strength as we keep them aligned here. Almost like we're in Tadasana. We're going to engage in the core, plant our palms face down. Inhale, slowly roll the spine up, finding support in the abdomen, finding support in the quads, in the glutes, in the lower back. And I want you to imagine that someone has a string attached to your pelvis and they're pulling it up and away from you. So they're pulling your pelvis up towards the sky. Good. On an exhale, slowly lower back down each vertebrae onto the mat. Taking a breath and releasing. Inhale, planting the palms and rolling up through the pelvis, sending it up towards the sky. Inhale, exhale, lower everything back down. Just gently and slowly to release everything. Good. One more time. Inhale, rolling the spine, rolling the pelvis up, rolling up each vertebrae and lifting the pelvis. And see, we're not splaying our knees out. Make sure you're hugging your knees in. Exhale, lower everything back down slowly and gently. Wonderful. On your next inhale, engage in your abdomen and draw your knees into your chest. You can wrap your arms around them. We're going to slowly, just gently rock side to side here, giving our backs a nice little massage. Good. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, release the legs. Go ahead and extend the left leg out. We're going to take our right leg. We're going to take our heel and draw it right over the right thigh. Keep a nice slight bend in the knees here. And then draw that left leg back up so your thighs meet. And on an exhale, we're going to send our knees over towards the left side of our mat. You might want to walk your hips back a little bit so your bum is out just a little bit more. Sending the right fingertips towards the out and away over the right side of our mat. Sending, you can draw in here in the supine twist with your palms on your hamstring. I'm zenning out, excuse me. If you want to go into a bind, you can bind your right ankle right behind your left calf. And if you want a little bit less, you can always release just a little bit and draw the that right ankle, that right knee. You don't have to bind it at all. You can just have it out and away. Try to keep your shoulder blades flush with the mat. If you find that your shoulder's coming up, roll it back down. Good. Inhale, come back up to center. Realigning our posture. Exhale. extending that right leg out just a little bit, just so enough so that left leg can come up and over, and then bring it back up so those thighs zip together. Drawing your knees towards the right side of your mat. Right palm on the hamstrings, extending your left hand out and away, sending your gaze over your left shoulder. So enjoy this twist. If you want to bind your ankle behind your calf here, you can. Or if you want a little bit less, you can always extend that left leg out a little bit more. Good. On your next exhale, come back up to center. And we're going to send our legs straight out, dropping our palms gently to our sides, opening them face up. And listening to the sound of our breath, softening through our bellies, walking our shoulder blades underneath our chest. Letting our feet drop to the side. Shavasana, our corpse pose. Take a moment to give yourself some self-love, to show yourself some appreciation and kindness. And know that as you cultivate that kindness within yourself and you cultivate that love within yourself, that you can radiate that to other people and to the people around you that you love and care about as well. We're going to draw our palms together, bring our thumbs to our third eye. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. If you can stay in Shavasana, I encourage you to do so. If you do have to get going with your day, do so slowly and mindfully. As you come up, do so slowly and mindfully. Roll to your side first. And gently and slowly make your way up. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. I am honored that you would want to share this time with me. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. And follow me and Chris, we both teach on this channel, at Heart and Soul BJJ on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I teach yoga every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon, and my husband and I teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu every Mondays through Fridays at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I hope to see you guys here in the future. Thank you so much. Please comment in the comment section what you liked, what worked for you, what didn't, and if there's anything that you want to work on, or if there's anything you need modified, I would love to give you guys as many options as I can to help enrich your lives, and so you can enrich your own life and enrich the lives of the people around you. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you guys on Friday. Have a good one.